Okay, this is a 97 F150 Lariat. It's got the 4.6 liter V8. It's experiencing the P0401 code, infamous on these trucks. That's insufficient EGR flow. Now it's already had a full tune-up on it, so we're guessing it's probably the ports behind the EGR and the throttle body are clogged. So we're going to do a takedown on that whole procedure and video record everything so we can help some folks out on cleaning up this issue, and hopefully we'll cut that light out and get it run straight. Now all 400 codes are for the EGR and are EGR related, so we're gonna see what happens. Alright, first thing you gotta do is remove the throttle body cover. There are 3 bolts, 2 on this end and 1 on this end. You have to use, what's that, a 10 millimeter? Yeah, that's a 10. Alright, use 10 millimeter. Now one thing to keep in mind is the driver's side bolts to the throttle body cover are shorter than the passenger side bolt, so you don't want to get those mixed up. Remove the cover, and there's the throttle body. I use a screwdriver on the cruise control cable right here to unlatch it. It comes straight off the top. I used it right around here and pulled till I felt it pop just slightly. That got it out of the groove, and I'll show you the inside. That's all it is, and it comes straight off the top. Accelerator cable, you pull this straight up, and this cable comes back till it clears this spot here, and it comes right out of that groove like that. Alright, and then the spring. The spring is simple. Turn it sideways and it comes right off. Go ahead and get it off the linkage too, so it doesn't get in your way when removing. Alright, I've used this pair of pliers to loosen these up. You'll want to spin them first slightly before pulling them so they don't break. This is a vacuum hose to the passenger side. Way in the back here is the PCV ventilator hose. I've already loosened it. You just get it out of your way. And then up top here we have one more vacuum that I've already loosened. Just spin them lightly and they come right off. Alright, now that we've disconnected the 3 hoses, 2 from the side, 1 to the back on the passenger side, we can start working on the driver's side. I like to pull this big hose right out from under the idle air control valve to start with. You got another crankcase ventilator hose. Down here it's hard plastic, but it usually comes right out with no fuss. And now this can just pull off the front and give us all the space we need to continue. What's next? Disconnect this green vacuum hose from the top of the EGR and just put it to the side to make some room. And then we're going to unbolt this right here to loosen this vacuum hose to the rear. As you can see, if you look back there, it's on the rear of it right here on the throttle body, but you got to loosen it here first so it comes off. Okay, now that we've got this unbolted, we loosen the vacuum from behind, can pull this way to the side, give us the space we need. Over here we got to unplug the idle air control valve. They usually are a little bit tougher about loosening them some, and the throttle positioning sensor. I forgot to mention this little deal right here comes off with a 10 millimeter, and then up under it you see this, it's shaped, that's a 10 millimeter too. That's 1 bolt, that's the 2nd bolt. I like to go ahead and take the EGR loose from the throttle body right here. Saves you some time. Alright, I've just loosened the 2 EGR bolts. This is why you need a 10 millimeter deep on this one. Talk about a weird ass bolt. Come out just like this. Now the EGR is loose. We're going to go straight to pulling the throttle body off. Alright, there's 4 main mounting bolts to this, and these 2 are the worst. They're big pain. One's way back here, 2 is right behind the EGR, and they come out with a... Those are a bitch. Yeah, those, they come out with a 5/16. So have fun with those. The 2 on the passenger side, easy as hell to get to. 1, 2, same size, 5/16. Pulling out now. Oh my God, check that out.
Okay, that's the worst blockage I've ever seen.
That can't breathe at all. God knows. Okay, that's the throttle body fully removed. Now the truck did get a tune-up. It got new coils, new spark plugs, Motorcraft wire kit. Those are actual coils. I don't know if you can see it. And we also replaced the sensor over here. The DPFE sensor, that's Delta Pressure Feedback EGR. And we still had the engine light. It still has a stumble at higher speeds. And it has nothing to do with the spark plugs or wires, so that's why we figured it needed a port cleaning. Okay, I just want to show you the severity of the blockage in this throttle body. Now, I don't know if you can see this because this is a $6 camera, but those are the EGR ports. They're completely blocked. No air at all can get through that. That's got to be the worst one I've ever seen. Yeah, hands down, that's bad. People think that can affect the way it drives. As you drive, your computer detects the drivetrain conditions and then pulses the EBR, so that allows for correct EGR position. If that's off in any way, the pressure difference is measured by that DPFE sensor, which we've already had to replace. That can mess your whole system up. Yeah, when that pressure's off, it stores the code most of the time, but the air-fuel ratio is mixed lean. That lean condition causes a miss, usually between like 40 or 55, right? Yeah, it can mess up your coils too. Yeah, it messes up the coil. We've had to swap left and right side on the coils too, so that's probably why. Believe me, that P0401 code, you might want to take care of it. It can affect drivability.